Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to a reading for your next big change. We're doing this reading because Pluto is moving into Aquarius on the 18th of November, and it will definitely cause big changes. So you have this mending card and this deep knowing card. A lot of you definitely could be going through a healing. I mean, this has come up for you in past readings as well, that a lot of you could be healing your heart, and you start with the Three of Swords, which is a great card for healing. That deep knowing card says you know that you know what you need to heal. So a lot of you definitely seem to be healing your heart, or something inside of you, which is great. I think this will lead to a lot of more happiness and probably joy in your life. I also feel with that Ace of Wands there that there could be something new finally coming in for you. I feel like you've been a little bit worried recently, and this worry could be about your future, or like about a job, or will you have a job or a career. It could be a financial worry just in general. And again, the good news is that we have this Ten of Wands, which I feel, and you have the Ten of Pentacles, and I meant to say the Ace of Wands. You do have the Ten of Wands though, but you have these great cards in the good stuff that would really represent kind of like abundance or success. So you start with this Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles in your first row. Three of Swords can be a heartbreak or sadness, but I really feel you're healing your heart. You even go down to the Nine of Swords, to the King of Cups in your first diagonal. And so the King of Cups can represent your deep emotions, and we'll talk about him when we get to that third row. But I feel a lot of you are kind of connecting more, healing your emotions more, especially since you have this Mending card, which is really a card of healing. The Three of Swords would also be about forgiveness, and with the Three of Swords, we don't have to forgive a person or a situation directly. We just have to forgive it in our heart, and then we can move forward. You have the Queen of Swords. I kind of feel like you're seeing a problem, but this is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. She is looking directly at the Nine of Swords. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and so the Queen of Swords is seeing something clearly for the first time. I feel like you are seeing what the problem is for the first time. And the reason this is a good thing is because if you can't see your problem, then you can't fix it. So again, I think that this is a good thing for you here, Sagittarius. I think that you could be becoming aware of something that has been causing an issue in your life, or like a mistake maybe, or something like that. And by correcting it, you're able to move forward, or you're able to create success. So I actually feel pretty good about this for you. Again, even though it might be a problem that you have to correct, at least you're seeing the problem so that you can correct whatever the problem is. You have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is usually something new that's coming into your life. Could be a new person, new situation, new opportunity. The Page of Pentacles is also the card of studiousness. So he is the card of learning as much as you can about something. And again, obviously, if you're dealing with this issue here or some sort of problem, Nine of Swords is usually a never-ending nightmare. So it's usually like we have a nightmare, he's had a nightmare, he's woken up, he's stuck in a nightmare. So the type of problem that the Nine of Swords can be is like a never-ending nightmare, or something where you just don't know how to overcome the problem. And it's like sometimes we reach a blockage this could be any area of your life, and it can be very difficult to move past. But again, the good thing about this reading is you're finally seeing like what is causing the problem in some area of your life, and then you'll be able to move past it. With the Three of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've talked about this. I'm cheating because, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, looking at your past year or so, I definitely can see that a lot of you Sagittarius people have had issues with people in your life. Like it could be family, or, especially, very specifically based off your astrology. If you have allowed people back into your life, like let's say you had a falling out with people years ago, and then recently over the last year or so, you let them back into your life. It's like maybe they disappointed you again. And I feel a lot of Sagittarius people have gone through that experience where it's like you trusted a person again and they disappointed you again. Now, for a lot of you, it's probably family, just again, based off the astrology. I'm cheating, like I said, but, for others, it could be lovers or, anything like that. And I feel like you're finally like sticking up for yourself and walking away. We've already talked about this before. With the Queen of Swords, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really charging forward and going for what you want. Even though the King of Wands represents Aries, we could say that the King of Wands is you showing up in this reading, and you're just showing up as the strongest version of your fire sign self with the King of Wands, which is great. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords. Yes, stuck energy again. So we have stuck energy here and here. I really feel the Nine of Swords is more stuck energy. Not so much like, it could be creating a nightmare in your life, but, I feel it's more like something that has been stuck and you're finding the answer. So again, Nine of Swords is, to me, the worst card in the tarot. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but this is a good reading, so don't worry, number one. But number two, I think that you're seeing the problem in a good way. It's like you're finally seeing how you can overcome this Nine of Swords energy. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Crown Safaka card. It says femininity, assertiveness, and group accord, and definitely a time for you to be assertive with that King of Wands. You have this Crocodile Skink and this Mantis card. It says misdirection, boundaries, and vocalization. So I think a lot of you have learned to set up boundaries. The Nine of Swords can also represent misdirection. Again, if you haven't been able to see what the problem is that's causing blockages in your life, and the Moon is also a card of misdirection, then because the Moon casts illusions in our lives, then again, you could finally be seeing what has been misdirecting you. It's like maybe you think in your business that your paperwork is a problem, but really maybe it's that you need to strengthen like the sales side of your business or something like that. Again, I think there's something has been off in your life and you're finally correcting it. So I think your next big change is really a correction that's coming in for you, which obviously would be a good thing. The Moon is like fears, fantasies, illusions, not seeing things clearly. But the Moon does not say stop anywhere on the card. The Moon says to the Fool, because the Moon is part of the Fool's journey, that he needs to make it to these mountains because eventually the sun will come up and the Moon will go down and he won't be in darkness any longer. So again, a lot of you, this reading is kind of saying to me that you are also coming out of darkness. And, confirmation for that message would be the Sun card, the Star, or even the Death card as well, which, hopefully one of those three comes up. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, like I said, is a never-ending nightmare. I feel like you've learned a lot. On his blanket right here, this is a comfort blanket. And on that blanket, there are all these astrological symbols on the blue stuff there. On the blue color, you can see all these astrological symbols. And the blue symbols represent all the transits, all the astrology that he has basically lived through. And so that should give him comfort in his time because it's saying to him that he has learned a lot and whatever he is dealing with, he can easily overcome because he has learned a lot. So I feel like it's saying to you that you have learned a lot through the lessons and the things that you've been through. And so that should give you comfort during this time. Although, again, I think you're moving past this time. So again, I wouldn't even worry about it in general. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is that spark of hope or that spark of inspiration. Again, Ace of Wands is that card, is my favorite card in the tarot because sometimes I feel like the Ace of Wands is just that one thing we need to be able to move forward, especially if we have been stuck for a long time. It is, like I said, that spark of hope, that spark of inspiration, that thing that we need. It is also out with the old, in with the new. So if you have been stuck in the old with the Nine of Swords, I feel like you are entering into the new with the Ace of Wands and being set free. With the Moon card, you have the Seven of Wands. You also do have the Nine of Wands here. So both of these cards are very similar. They both can represent boundaries. The Seven of Wands is a card of persistence. The Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance. And you have to be persistent to be perseverant in the first place. So they're both very similar. And the Nine of Wands is coming up in the good stuff. So this would really say that you not giving up is going to bring rewards or is going to bring healing or whatever it is that you're looking for. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, regrets. Like I said, I think some of you maybe regret allowing people back into your lives that you trusted again. And, really the Five of Cups has a very easy solution. We have to be grateful for what we do have, and then we get this bridge and this castle. So he's grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys any longer. And he's focusing on it. But if he were to change his focus, if he were to turn around, he would get this Four of Wands, which could be marriage. So if this is love, this is basically saying stop telling that old story. But it doesn't have to be marriage. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom. And so it could be anything that sets you free, like a new position, new career, new job, new business, new friends, whatever it is. And so I feel like this is saying don't tell the old story. Start telling this new story of what you actually want. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Definitely a new adventure. I think I said this to you maybe over the past couple months. I seem to remember saying this to you as well, that I feel you're getting back to your true Sagittarius nature. Sagittarius is like to go on adventures. They like to, have fun. They like to be playful. And I feel for a lot of you that you are getting back to that place where you can be more playful. You can enjoy yourself more. You can go on more adventures and even like travel, or, even if you can't travel, you can just go on adventures locally. And I really just feel the Knight of Wands is kind of saying you're getting back to yourself. Next in the area, messages from your future self, you have this Hold Your Vision card, and you have the Ten of Pentacles at the end, which we'll talk about. You also have this New Moon in Aries. It says it's time to take action. So it could be time to take action on your vision. The Ten of Pentacles is your ultimate vision for your life. It's like the Ten of Pentacles is a tree of life, so it's everything you want and desire to create in your life. And the Hold Your Vision card just says you have to focus on it. And then this New Moon in Aries is saying that it's time for you to take action on that vision, start taking those first few steps towards whatever you're trying to create. You have the Four of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom. It's a card of marriage, but, really it's a card of setting yourself free. It's also a card of completion. Usually it's kind of like a finish line card. This top garland thing here looks like a finish line. And usually we have to cross some sort of finish line, or we have to wrap something up with the Four of Wands so that we can get to the other side with these people who are celebrating. And so I feel that there could be some sort of celebration coming in for you when you wrap something up, and probably through focusing on your new story with the Five of Cups. A lot of people, they go through a breakup and all they talk about is whatever that past person did, right? And I always tell those people, start talking about the new and start talking about what you want, not what you don't want. You have the Page of Swords. I kind of feel good about this because Page of Swords can be a childlike energy, and it can say that you are getting back to, again, that more playful, joyful, optimistic Sagittarius self energy where you're, open to new ideas. You're asking questions. The Page of Swords is curious, and it's a card of curiosity. So I feel for a lot of you that you could just be more curious. You're getting back to a more curious state. And I think that's good because that tells me that you are feeling more optimistic when you are more curious. You're kind of like asking questions about new ideas and new directions. And you could be asking these questions to people, but you could also be asking these questions to yourself, right? You could just be exploring things on your own, which I think is great. You have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is about your deep emotions. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean, and the story of the King of Cups is that he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And he's sitting in choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine because he has explored his emotions. He understands, he is in perfect control of his emotions. He understands that external circumstances do not control how he has to feel about things. And so he is in control emotionally, and I think a lot of you have gotten to that place. With the Four of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success, really. Eight of Wands is a quick conclusion as well. And again, that Four of Wands can represent completing one thing and going to the next level. So there really could be a rapid change. This reading is all about your next big change. And so your next big change could be coming very quickly with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, of course, is your words as well. And so, like I said, I would be focusing your words, the things that you say to yourself, in one direction. Not on the spilt cups, but on the two cups that you do have. With the Page of Swords, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of knowledge and wisdom, and he has the most knowledge and wisdom out of any of the kings. So I would be learning things with that Page of Swords, asking questions, and as you learn, I would take action on what you learn. Again, we have to turn knowledge into wisdom, and we can do that by learning and then acting on what we learned and getting a result and learning for ourselves. And this is very important because, again, YouTube has taught me that people can say things all day long, but until you put it into practice, you don't actually know what works or not. I do so many things on this channel that don't work according to the YouTube experts, right? And it's only because I tried it for myself that I found out like what works and what doesn't. So the King of Swords really says you have to put into practice what you learn and find out for yourself. With the King of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, again, these readings weren't meant to be love readings. They're meant to be focused more on bigger picture changes. But, love definitely could be a big picture change for some of you. So the Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. The Knight of Cups is more about your dream, and he is very dreamy and imaginative. And again, you have that hold your vision card. So I think it would be important for you to, kind of maintain or, visualize your future success and then start working towards it. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this joy and pleasure card. We can't make that up. We were talking about that. And you have this energy healing card as well. So definitely going through healing. I think focusing on things that bring you joy, bring you pleasure, happiness, make you feel love, energy as well. That doesn't have to be a person. It could just be the energy of love. I think all those things would be a great thing for you to focus on with these energies. You have the Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands is like a long journey. He is burdened by his journey. I always say that I think the Ten of Wands is a good card because he planted those 10 wands, and those wands represent his harvest, and he's about to reach his home in the background here, so he's about to have a harvest. But definitely in the good stuff, it would be good. This is saying that your hard work is paying off, or your hard work is about to pay off in your life in some way. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, again, is the tree of life. It basically is everything you want and desire in your life. It doesn't mean that you're going to have everything you want and desire, but it does mean that you are, again, holding that vision, like this card says. Hold your vision. And so I think you need to visualize more, what your ideal life would look like, and then start taking the steps to make it happen. Again, I don't think we ever truly get everything we want. That would defeat the purpose of life. But I think working towards the Ten of Pentacles is the point of life, trying to make heaven, trying to create heaven on earth. Like I said, is it ever going to be perfect? Hell no. But I think trying it and trying to get there is the whole point, is making it as good as it possibly can be is the point of life. And so I think a lot of you could be realizing that with the Ten of Pentacles, and you could be, taking the steps to, create a life worth living. And, that's what this looks like to me. You have the Nine of Wands, and Nine of Wands says do not give up, but the Nine of Wands is coming up in the good stuff. The Nine of Wands makes a lot of sense during Pluto and Aquarius as well. Pluto and Aquarius is very innovative and all about innovation. The Nine of Wands is all about throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So innovation is, we have to experiment to innovate. And I think experimentation is going to be a very important energy for the next 20 years. We have Pluto and Aquarius for 20 years. And no, let me make this clear that this is not a 20-year prediction, but the energy will be here for 20 years. So I upset a lot of people by saying 20 years in the last couple readings that I've done for some freaking reason. But again, we're dealing with Pluto and Aquarius for 20 years. So not a prediction. The energy is there. The planet is in Aquarius. So let me make that clear if it wasn't already. But again, and you're gonna have to do this for 20 years, and sorry if you don't like that. It is what it is, right? With the Ten of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. Definitely, I would be focusing more on play with this reading, and you have all this childlike energy here, and childlike in a good way, and playful energy in a good way. And so the Two of Pentacles can represent spinning plates, focusing on too much. Ten of Wands is very similar to that because he is, maybe some of those burdens he's carrying are not his own. So I would make sure that you're only doing things that are, an absolute requirement for yourself. And if there are any extra responsibilities that don't belong to you, those are the things that I would be removing. It is showing up in the good stuff, but still I read intuitively. And I definitely feel that some of you might be doing things that don't belong to you. And I would make sure you don't. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is about shining your inner light. He has this star in his lantern here, and I believe the Hermit needs to shine his inner light. He needs to open that lantern up and shine his light all over the place. Pluto and Aquarius is going to be all about shining your light all over the place. So I think one of the most spiritual things we can do during Pluto and Aquarius is be an inspiration for other people. Trying to make your life the best you possibly can would be inspirational to the right people, and that's exactly what I would do with that Hermit. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, definitely could be a love offer here for those of you that want it. The Ace of Cups is also about fulfillment. And it's about doing things that you can do endlessly. You know, that Ace of Cups, that cup can reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. So the Ace of Cups is more about doing things in life that really you can do endlessly. And again, I'm not suggesting that you work 24/7 or anything like that, but you know, what could you do 24/7 and do more of those things? Don't do them 24/7, but what could you do 24/7, right? And focus more on that. You have this convention card. Convention is like the way things have always been done. And I do kind of feel this is saying like, do what works. You know, I kind of just said that with the Ace of Cups. So I get more of that energy off of this card. Like, keep doing the things that are working. You have this egotism card. I would be careful of people who have a big ego or who are, you know, bringing their ego to situations. We do have Neptune moving into Aries in 2026, and I do think that there will be a lot of ego issues around that time. We also have Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of 2024. I also think that there will be problems with people's ego during that time. So I would say, number one, don't take it personally. You know, some people just can't handle the energy, and that's not a judgment. It just, you know, just is what it is. And, you know, so I would practice being kind, but I would also, if there are people who have ego issues, I would avoid them with that card. You have this independence card. I do feel you have, every Sagittarius I know is very independent, so I don't know. I just think that you're, you know, working on your independence and staying independent. You have this birth card. A lot of birth energy in this set of readings. Pretty much every single person had like the Empress, this birth card, or the World, which is also a birth card. So it wouldn't surprise me if you were birthing new ideas. Again, this is probably one of the biggest changes we will ever experience. That's why I'm doing these readings. Is Pluto going into Aquarius to stay, which tomorrow, on the 18th, I'm doing this on the 17th. It is going to stay for almost 20 years. It is a big change. And, you know, particularly Pluto moving into Aquarius. When Pluto's in Capricorn, it's as close to Earth as it possibly can be. When it finally moves into Aquarius, it's starting to go away from the Earth. And so, again, it is a big change most people never experience because it's going to take 200 and something years for Pluto to get back to Capricorn. So, again, not every generation experiences this. So, you know, again, big changes and definitely birthing new ideas, new things. You have this intuition card. Yeah, very intuitive time, so I would definitely trust your intuition as well. But really good reading here for you, Sag. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.